Women always ask me, what happened to men today? Great question.
For white men, it is okay to approach a Latina.
So I went to the gym this morning and not one single guy stopped and said hello or spoke to me this morning.
But the last time I got approached in public, oh my gosh, this is actually...
Slowly but surely, every modern woman is feeling the effects of pushing men away.
Do white men like black girls?
I don't know who needs to hear this, but guys, shoot your shot. You act like us ladies are literally going to cast a spell on you.
So we're talking about why guys don't approach girls and women like that as much anymore, so tell us.
Right now, it's best to stay away. Approaching today is a huge risk to most men. Kindly subscribe to the channel as it further supports us in our work. Thank you.
Women always ask me, what happened to men today? Great question. What started out as a good thing, encouraging men to respect women, has swung way too far in the opposite direction. Now, a lot of men are terrified of women, so they wait for perfect conditions before making a move. But courage doesn't exist without risk, and women can't respect men who don't risk anything. So as a man, if you want to be seen as confident, you've got to be willing to look stupid, to get rejected, to be misunderstood. So start by taking small risks. Approach women when you're out and about. Initiate plans with them. You'd be surprised how fast it'll work, because women nowadays, they're not turned off by that kind of effort. They're starving for it.
No!
Fuck him, feed him, leave him alone. You guys are actually crying because men don't approach you anymore. Do you want to know why they don't approach you anymore, Karen? Because if they approach you, he's a predator. And if he hits on you, oh my God, SA. Not to mention the fact that you guys catfish yourselves with 20 pounds of fucking makeup and your personality. So when he actually feels something, you show your fucking things and your psycho side. The amount of false accusations where pro basketball players and just random men in general have actually had their lives ruined because of shit like this, with the false fucking claims, that is why men are not approaching you. That is why men are not talking to you. It has nothing to do with your looks per se. You can be the most beautiful girl in the room and they would probably be dying to talk to you. And then they're going through a list in their head of everything you could do to fucking ruin their lives. And the last thing they need over their head is to be accused of shit that they didn't do. That is why they are not approaching you. Do better.
I agree. Another thing these women like to say when men don't approach them is that men are intimidated by them or by their beauty. Not only is that not true, but what beauty exactly? A lot of these women spend hours in the mirror painting their faces and go outside shocked that no man is coming up to them. In their heads, when they don't have men flocking to their feet, they call it intimidation, but really what it is that those men are just not interested or they're cautious. Because like this woman mentioned, many men have been accused of being predators or creeps for simply making a move. What women call intimidation is really men exercising caution and self-protection. It's not that men are scared, it's that they've realized the game has changed. They're tired of being shamed, rejected disrespectfully, or treated like creeps for showing interest.
The other day, just talking about how I feel like men don't really approach women that much in public anymore, and they just approach them online mostly. And I got a lot of interesting comments about that, but one that just kept popping up was, well, if that's what you want, why don't you just approach the men yourself? And I think this is a fair question because I feel like men think women have a distinct advantage if they approach first, which, I mean, I don't really understand the thought process behind that, but that's fine. Y'all feel how you feel.
So I went to the gym this morning and not one single guy stopped and said hello or spoke to me this morning. Now, guys, if you're at the gym and you see a middle-aged woman, like at least stop to say hello because this is maybe the only social time she gets today.
So I'm packing to go home tomorrow and took a break and saw this video clip of a guy saying women are not properly signaling to men that we are available to approach. And like back in the day, they used to drop their handkerchief, however you say it. And in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, so it's back on us now. In my mind, if I drop my handkerchief, then I have to bend down and pick it up, and then I have to sanitize my hands, and then I need to go find Kleenex, and then I have to go home and wash my handkerchief. Can't you just like come up and say hi? Why? That takes way less effort. I'm tired. Just come up and say hi.
Well, she said she's tired, but how does she think men feel when they're the ones constantly expected to approach women and get rejected over and over again. I'm pretty sure men get tired too, constantly putting themselves out there, risking embarrassment, rejection, or even being labeled as creepy for simply showing interest. That takes a toll on any man's confidence. She said, "Can't you come up and say hi?" But again, she could do the same thing. She's just choosing not to. That's the difference. A lot of women want equal rights, but not equal effort when it comes to dating. They talk about being independent and strong, yet when it's time to make the first move, they suddenly become traditional again. The handkerchief method worked because those women actually made an effort. They gave men a clear signal that they were interested. It was subtle, feminine, and inviting, just enough to let a man know it was safe to approach.
This is a public service announcement for white men. It is okay to approach a Latina at the bar.
That part. Yep.
It is okay to like a Latina. We are equals. We are pretty people. We are also equal to the blondes at the bar.
Even better.
Even better, maybe. I don't wanna, perhaps.
Don't quote me on it, but
please, it is okay to approach a Latina at the bar. It is okay.
We will talk to you.
We will talk to you. It is okay. I promise. It is okay. Please approach us. We are all one. We are begging.
We're begging.
We're on our hands and knees. Please approach us.
I'm on my knees.
Like, what the fuck?
If he can afford his hobbies, his car, and the outings with his friends, he can afford you too.
I find takes like this to be rather concerning because it seems like a lot of individuals are now more than ever focused on what they can get out of a relationship in terms of benefits, as opposed to actually being focused on the relationship itself. It seems like a lot of them have, as they say, lost the plot.
When a man says that he can't spoil you, it just means that he doesn't want to.
Indeed. But a person shouldn't have to be spoiled to be happy in a relationship. And that's what I mean by a lot of individuals seem to have certainly lost the plot. Because I highly doubt that a lot of those individuals that give advice such as this really even know what it's like to be in a happy, healthy, and rewarding relationship. And sadly, those that listen to the advice that these sorts of individuals give are going to wind up in the same place, not knowing what it's like to actually have a rewarding relationship. Because, as they say, no one likes to keep other women single like single women.
Strong, independent women expect men to afford them, So because he can afford his hobbies, to her it automatically means he can afford her too. It's no surprise that she, and many other women, think like this, because we have a growing number of leechers. All these women giving such advice are often bitter and angry. Their real goal is to keep other women single and miserable like them. They disguise their unhappiness as empowerment, preaching independence while secretly craving the stability of a man they claim not to need. As she mentioned, if he can afford his hobbies, he can afford her too. Whenever a woman says that, her goal in being with that man is already exposed. She's there for lifestyle access. That statement alone reveals a transactional mindset where affection is conditional and interest is based on financial benefit. And the sad part is, many of these women don't even realize how they sound. They mistake greed for standards.
If a guy is too scared to approach you, you know, if he's like one of those guys say, I can't approach women because I'm too scared, he's a loser. Men who have things going on for themselves, a good job, a car, money, confidence, they're going to be able to approach women. And those are the men who deserve to have their genes passed on. If a guy is too nervous, most of the time he is a loser. Okay? He lives in his mom's basement and he eats too much Cheetos. He is a loser. He plays video games all day. He is a loser. So to the people who are like, oh, go approach men because he's too scared. There's a reason why he's too scared, and he should be too scared because he's a loser. And he knows you're going to say no. He knows that you're beautiful and you can get with anybody. Why would he want to be with you? A loser who lives with his mom and plays video games all day and works at McDonald's. That's why he's not approaching you. Don't be scared, okay? If you're at a bar, you think a guy is cute, but he's just not approaching you, there's a reason why. Either he's not single or he's a loser. Move on to the next. Don't let it affect your self-esteem. Okay? A confident, good-looking guy with a good job never not approaches a girl that he likes. He's always going to go up to her. So don't be afraid. Those men are losers. Don't take it to heart.
If you ever thought that you were never approached by men because they were too scared of you, you actually might have been right. Because I heard that men don't approach women that they're truly, like, seriously interested in if they're not in a position where they can take care of them. Like, they don't have a stable job, they don't have enough money, they don't think that they can take you out on enough dates, they don't think that they can treat you the way that they would want to treat you. So they stay away and they don't try to get with you. Because, like, you ever feel like you know someone likes you, but you're just like, they're not doing anything. And you just know this person likes you, right? But they haven't made any advances. This could be why. No, I'm not trying to feed anyone's delusions, but it's better to be delusional in a good way than a bad way. So the next time that a guy that you like doesn't approach you, doesn't talk to you, doesn't reach out to you first, just think about that.
That's not always the case. A man isn't only going to avoid approaching a woman because he feels like he can't take care of her or doesn't have a good job. There are many other reasons. Some men are simply tired of rejection, especially after putting in effort only to be dismissed or humiliated. Others have learned from experience that many modern women come with unrealistic expectations. They want a man who provides, protects, and plans everything, yet offers little in return. Some women are never approached by men simply because those men don't find them attractive. It's really that simple. It's not because the men were too scared or intimidated. It's because there was no genuine interest. Attraction isn't something you can demand or guilt someone into. It's either there or it's not.
The men of TikTok, you guys are hilarious. Natural born comedians. And I love reading your comments from the previous video that I posted. And in said video, I asked the men of TikTok for help and advice on what I could say if I wanted to approach a man and what's a good opening line. The comments did not disappoint. A popular response that I received, far and away, was easily just go up to a man and say hi. Apparently men are simple creatures like that. You just got to approach them and say, hey. But my question to you, men of TikTok, does that not come across as weird or desperate? Anyways, I'm going out today and I'm going to test out your theory. I'm just going to go up to a man and just talk to him and say, hey.
Top reasons why men aren't approaching women in 2025. For one, low testosterone levels. Men's testosterone levels are the lowest they've ever been because of diet, exercise, all these factors, not living healthy lifestyles. And testosterone is what gets men to be motivated to go and ask a girl out. Two is dating apps. Dating apps has made it way too easy for men to think that they have access to women. It gives them this like false hope, and it makes it so easy for them to just go on their phone and take the easy way out. Is consuming too much online adult content. It is getting really scary when men just go on their phones and can instantly have access to all sorts of material. Why would they even go out and court a girl if they don't need to? Girls do not make this any easier. Girls are not approachable. Men are terrified of being called creeps or making a girl uncomfortable, so a lot of them just don't do it.
She said men aren't approaching women because of low testosterone levels and dating apps, claiming that technology has made it easier for men to date. Sure, dating apps have worked for some men, but let's be real. The majority of men don't approach women because of women themselves. She's listing surface-level reasons without addressing the real issue. Now, to be fair, she did mention one valid reason: women calling men creeps. And I'll give her credit for that. But even then, she doesn't seem to understand how deep that problem really goes. So yes, she got that part right, but she missed the bigger picture. Men aren't avoiding women because they've suddenly become weak or lost their drive. It's because the environment has become hostile toward genuine male effort. Every approach feels like walking on eggshells, where one wrong word can turn into public humiliation.
It's always so funny to me when men make videos about like not approaching women anymore, Or they're like, oh, they'll always think you're creepy. Or if you're not attractive, they'll think you're creepy. Like, these are the discussions men are having around approaching women. And I'm like, I really do not care. I really don't give a fuck if women think you're creepy only if you're not attracted to them. Like, us women have bigger fish to fry, okay? Some of us are unalived because we're not attractive enough, or we say no, or we didn't respond the way that a man wanted us to. Like, I just can't get myself to feel any compassion for men that are like, oh, we just can't approach women anymore. They just think we're creepy, especially if we're ugly. Like, okay. But honestly, to some of you men, I'm proud of you. Because the conclusion you came to was, you know what, I'm just not gonna approach women anymore. That is a good conclusion to draw. I don't think anybody's upset that a lot of y'all are choosing not to approach us anymore. Because I know some of y'all people, some of y'all men, choose to force yourself on women if they decline you. So I'm really glad that a lot of y'all have come to the conclusion to just not approach us. Because I will be honest, I just don't feel bad. I just don't feel bad that men are rejected. I just don't feel bad if men are called creeps. I just don't feel bad if men think they're unattractive and they think that's why they're being declined. Like, you could have that discussion amongst yourselves, men, and keep coming to the conclusion of just don't approach us. I think y'all are doing a pretty good job. But don't expect us to feel bad for you.
Okay, so I was watching one of my favorite YouTubers yesterday, Maya Galore, and she does all things beauty, lifestyle, fashion, that kind of stuff, right? In her vlog, she talked about how she feels the men of this generation are just scared to approach her. Obviously she's successful. She presents herself very classy, very rich, luxury. That's the aesthetic that she has. And she recently went out with her friend. I think they went to some bar to like watch a football game or something. And she noticed so many men were staring at her. But none of them were bold enough to actually come over and approach her or come over and talk. I think the only guy she said that was bold enough to do something was like trying to summon her. So he made eye contact and I think he was like gesturing her to come over, but she doesn't respond to that. But for the girls on here, do y'all relate to that? Do y'all ever feel like men are just afraid to approach you? Men are afraid to actually make a move. It's like, you know, they're staring, but they're just not bold enough to talk to you. And I definitely relate to that, because when I think back on the last, let's say 2-3 years, men just don't approach. And you could say, oh, well, maybe they just don't find you attractive. But like she said, sometimes you see them staring. It's like you see them staring, making constant eye contact with you. But it's like they're just not afraid to. I don't know. What's the cause of that? Are men intimidated? Because again, she does carry herself very rich, very well put together. Are they just intimidated by us? Are they just shy? Do they just lack initiative? Like, do we just have a generation of men that don't take initiative anymore? What's going on?
Hearing all these women complain about men not approaching them is basically them saying, men aren't giving us free validation anymore. That's what it really comes down to. For years, many women have been used to endless attention. Men complimenting them, chasing them, and doing whatever it took just to get noticed. They're not upset because they genuinely want meaningful connections. They're upset because the stream of attention and ego boosts has dried up. When men stop approaching, it exposes who actually values genuine interaction versus who just wants to be admired. And let's be honest, a lot of these women never intended to date most of the men who approached them anyway. They just enjoyed the attention and the power that came with it.